Jeremiah 29 and verse 11, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, that they are thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. He does not tell you specifically what they are. He just tells you that they are thoughts of peace. And so you need to buy into the mind of the Spirit to know what God intends for you to do now. There are many sincere believers who have found themselves touring parts of destiny that were not earmarked. It is not part of their prophetic blueprint. They sincerely began to follow blindly, and from the lens of prophecy and God's assignment for them, many of them would soon realize that they've just been wasting their time doing things that are not part of their prophetic blueprint, taking journeys and long paths in life and destiny that they would later find out was not earmarked for them. For as long as John was in the will of God, he had access to all that God intended for him to do. No one could kill him. People could persecute him, but he became invincible. He was immune because he was staying in the will of God. The moment John the Baptist veered off the will of God and he began to do and practice things that were not in his prophetic blueprint, he became a prey to the enemy and he died cheaply. The assignment of John was to be the forerunner of Jesus, and for as long as he understood that assignment and stood upon his watch playing that role effectively, the same people who would later kill him were there, and yet they had no power over him because he was immune by the power of his vision. But the moment he announced Jesus and he did not know what else to do with his life, he began to delve into areas, perhaps sincerely so, that was not earmarked for his destiny. How could a man announce Jesus and die the way John died? How could a man ordain Jesus to ministry and die the way that he died? That is not how God rewards those who walk with him. But that is what happens to a man when you become blinded. Just because you saw yesterday does not mean you are seeing now. You must receive the miracle of sight for the now. There are people who begin with God accurately receiving the blueprint for their destinies, but eventually they allow blindness to plague them, and with that blindness will come confusion. This is true for those in ministry, this is true for those in business, this is true for family people, and so they start well, excelling in life and destiny, and eventually you will find them veering off paths that were not in their prophetic blueprint. Imagine with me, ladies and gentlemen, that I ask you to close your eyes and then I ask you to walk out of this room or to walk to your car to go home. Chances are excellent, except by divine help, you may not get there. The probability literally that you may get to your car may almost be zero. Do you know why? Your legs are working well. The ability to move is there. The ability to think is there. The ability to reach is there. But just because one component required for your advancement went missing, your life becomes... The terrible thing is that it will not stagnate you. It will confuse you and derail you until you die. When your legs are tied, even if your eyes are open, you can see where you should go, but the ability to take steps is not there. But when your legs are fine, your hands are fine, your mind is fine, but your eyes are blind, you will keep moving. Motion without direction is a risk, because you can fall into a pit. Are we together now? Yeah. So many people begin well. In fact, there are people who start from day one of their spiritual journey. They already start in confusion with all shades of blindness, and they find out that they are wasting their time, wasting their energy, investing themselves in things that have no consistency with God's blueprint for them. I'm praying for someone here tonight where you have veered off in destiny, that you are moving this way thinking it is God leading you. At the end of tonight, you will know who and what has been leading you. Because listen, some of us, the way you are going, if you continue it without a message like this halting you, you will definitely get into perdition. Sincerity is not enough to actualize destiny. You must have the gift of sight. There are people today who once were in God's prophetic program. They once were in God's prophetic program. Once upon a time, they were at the cutting edge of God's program, but they lacked the ability to see what God is doing now. And while they were relevant in one season, when seasons changed, they did not have the gift of sight, and they continued doing what God was doing, not knowing that God has switched. Hallelujah. And the dangerous thing is that when you are a leader, if you do not have the gift of sight, people will follow you with unbending loyalty, even into confusion, even into perdition. There are parents today who have confused the destinies of their children because they lacked the gift of sight. They did not know, like Manoah, what kind of destiny these children would have, and they began to insist on a pathway that was not consistent with God's blueprint, and the children in obedience followed them, only to discover they've wasted 30 years, 40 years of their lives and their destiny.